Hey, what up, dope people? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you for choosing to kick off your day with the Woo Crew. It's your boy, Brandon Dent, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credentialed Pistons reporter and writer for this network. That right there is the vet of this squad. Flannel Sam has held down this time slot for a long time. A lot of Victory Mondays, including today, Mr. Frederick Polo.
Hey, and I know we all want to talk about it. Kool-Aid, get your victory. I want everybody in here to get your victory lap off and to make me eat some crow when it comes to Jameson Williams. I will start with you, Mr. Kool-Aid.
Hey, listen, man. I just had a hunch. I believed that Amon-Ra St. Brown would eat, and I thought that he affected last night's game in so many other ways last night than receptions and yards and such. But I just had a hunch that Jameson Williams was going to be one of those guys that you see like Xavier Worthy out there with Patrick Mahomes. We saw the effect he had, and I was kind of bullish on him. I feel like this current NFL, that it caters to those types of wide receivers and those types of players to be able to have minimal targets, but to be able to have big yardage. And I did. I thought he had an opportunity to lead the Detroit Lions in total yards on Friday because of that. Because of the confidence also, though, that Dan Campbell was exuding over one Jameson Williams, because realistically, we haven't been able to see anything yet other than a few. And I'm on still, I think I took like 120 victory laps during training camp. But those few videos, and you know what we saw last night? That the work is absolutely paying off, and that Alabama J-Mo, big play J-Mo. I'm talking about, we said it, J-Mo, Waymo targets, and that man came through last night, and it was cool to see him happy for his performance. It was cool to see the confidence and to see J-Mo really in a position where you could tell he was like, yo, I can do this. I didn't see a guy that looked prideful, but I saw a guy who was happy to see his work pay off, to see over injury hurdles, over the past issues, and just go out there and ball in a big spot for your team. Back-to-back games, back-to-back big games, he's shown up.
Absolutely. Broder, your turn.
Yeah.
Your turn.
No, J-Mo stepped up when they needed him to step up. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Laporta, they were schemed out of that game. Like McVay and that defense, Chris Shula, second-year defensive coordinator, were doing everything to keep Amon-Ra St. Brown out of it. And Sam Laporta ended up with 45 yards. But it was a game where you needed other guys to step up. You needed that game out of J-Mo. That first 36-yard completion that he made, that really got everyone, almost got that play out of the way for those waiting for J-Mo to break out or to see something in this game. That was great. And then, man, that double move, the touchdown pass, 52-yarder, that double move is what we saw prime J-Mo make college cornerbacks look like. And he did that. No, it wasn't Darius Williams, but it was an NFL cornerback out there, and he made him look silly. That was one of the most elite attribute or skills coming out of college for him. Literally, his what I just call the move? His double move. His double move. His ability to stop and start on a dime is as good as anybody in the league. It was so great to see him step up. Amon-Ra did not have a great game production-wise, but now seeing J-Mo do this sets up this offense for the next few weeks.
Yep. JB, your turn. Your turn. Everybody gets a turn today.
Hey,
The town bite.
I told you last week. I told you on Friday.
You did.
It starts on Sunday. And what do we got right here? Touchdown, 121 yards. This is just the beginning. And I know everyone had Amon-Ra having an amazing game. But, sometimes you have to sacrifice yourself for the whole team. And J-Mo went out there and kind of just took over for the most part of this whole thing. I wish he would have got that second touchdown that got picked off, but I'm just saying right now, this was the start, and everyone can just pipe down about the controversy of him being a bust. Now all of that is gone.
The beautiful thing is, you actually called for him for 1,500 yards, and you did, and I thought that it was a bit of a overzealous prediction, to put it nicely, but he's on that pace right now, man. And if he does it, you will look like an absolute prophet. You're already one of the smartest people I know. If you actually predict a 1,500-yard season for J-Mo, then you're a full-on genius. But out of everything that came out of this game, out of everything that came with Jameson Williams, the most important thing of it all to everybody in this room is that I never doubted him for even a second. Not even a second. I'm kidding. Put down your pitchforks. I'm kidding. Okay. Obviously, I have a lot of crow to eat today. I didn't expect him to have that kind of an impact.
But did crow ever taste so good?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I at least appreciate that this show is going to let me eat the crow and enjoy it at the same time. I can't say the same for 11-1, but we shall see later.
Shout out to the president.
Here's the reality. Jameson Williams, at least in terms of skill positions, was the best player on the field. If Penei Sewell's on the field, I'm always going to default to him, especially when you see that last drive in overtime. But for all intents and purposes, Jameson Williams was the best player on the field. Both, I mean, after that, like when it was 3-3.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Let's actually get a look at that route right now. That double move on old ass Tre'Davious White.
Got him.
Tre'Davious White had no chance, man. And that was something that I thought could be a key to this game. When Tre'Davious White was your healthiest corner, and he's somebody who really has a lot of tread on the tire, even though he's not that old. He's missed 30 games in the last 3 years, and he's no match for the speed and this route running ability of Jameson Williams. But where I got to give J-Mo a lot of credit is that when it was 3-3 and the Lions got that big 4th down stop on the Rams, one of the things that we talked about on the show or at the watch party with myself, Neil, and Spencer Raxter was that somebody was going to make a big play. And obviously stopping the Rams on 4th down was a huge play, but then following that up immediately with a 36-yard catch and run for Jameson Williams when he was running wide open down the middle. That was absolutely huge. And then later on in that drive, he got an end around for I believe 13 yards to put the Lions in the red zone, and then they ended up scoring a touchdown on that drive. And we all know what happened on the next drive. See that Jameson Williams touchdown on that get absolutely torching Tre'Davious White to put him up 17-3. Jameson Williams sparked the team. He was the best offensive player on the team. He was arguably the best player on the field, and he was absolutely brilliant. All the crow in the world I have to eat today. I'm not going to play that routine of I was just trying to motivate him and whatnot. Mike G, I appreciate your olive branch. I'm not going to take that. Sometimes you just have to sit back and let people clown you a little bit, because I have been, and I will admit it, I have been the A1 J-Mo hater probably in Detroit sports media. And there's probably not a close second. And today I just have to sit back, let you guys talk your shit, and shut the F up. And just give him praise. And that's what I'm doing.
And you know what? Broder brought up a good point about the schemes that were being run. Even on the interception last night, there was a spy, just a safety spy on Amon-Ra St. Brown. Just they had this guy covered up, and it was dope to see the other playmakers go out there and step up. Even Jahmyr Gibbs, just under 4 average 4 yards a carry, 11 attempts, 40 yards. And 4 receptions for 34 yards too. 74 total yards for the game. That's a good game for Jahmyr Gibbs. And I really like what Amon-Ra St. Brown brought, not just when blocking for his fellow receivers, but there were several games, and we continued to call it out on the watch party show yesterday too at Hayes Social. There were several plays where you see David Montgomery get like an 8-yard run, but who's out in front of the pack? Stopping a safety who's coming down to try and stop the guy. St. Brown was literally there. There was one play where David Montgomery plows through and Amon-Ra falls back on him because he's blocking. What if he's not there? And so it's like, yo, I love how gritty this team is. They didn't say they were sexy. They didn't say that they were pretty. They said that they're gritty. And that's what we saw last night. And when it was time to rely on that, because you can talk a good game about your identity, but when it's time to actually whip it out, put it on the table, theirs actually measured up to what they've been saying all along. It's not just a marketing campaign. It's not. It's real. It's their identity. Detroit Lions, man. What a win. What a victory.
And to piggyback off of that, to talk about Amon-Ra St. Brown, yes, 3 catches for 13 yards. It doesn't look great in the stat sheet. But Amon-Ra St. Brown doesn't give a damn. He doesn't care what his numbers are as long as the Lions get the win, as long as he's able to contribute in a multitude of ways. And I have a lot of respect for this player, so don't think that this is hate, but would you expect, for example, a wide receiver like Terrell Owens to be okay if they won games but he didn't get his numbers? I mean, you saw him basically ruin his relationship with Donovan McNabb on the Eagles in a lot of ways because he just wasn't always getting his targets. I mean, Keyshawn Johnson literally wrote a book called Give Me the Damn Ball. The point is that wide receivers are oftentimes a position where they're prone to be divas.
Yep.
And Amon-Ra St. Brown is the farthest thing from that. He does not give a damn. Nobody's happier for Jameson Williams than Amon-Ra St. Brown. Nobody's happier to do the dirty work than Amon-Ra St. Brown. And that's one of the hallmarks of this team. And we know, and he knows, the game where he gets 10 catches for $140 and a touchdown, it's coming. Everybody's going to get their turn because this offense is just so diverse.
I think Amon-Ra St. Brown, maybe after the initial, individual shock of his own of just having, 2 catches for 13 yards, I think he wakes up the happiest, most excited Lions player
It's who he is.
On the team. Not just because J-Mo produced, finally, he's starting to break out, but because the fact that J-Mo produced, what that means for St. Brown moving forward, that makes his job so much easier. Now there's proof in the pudding. Now there's film out there of J-Mo doing things at the NFL level, even with a little bit of consistency. So DC's moving forward have to account for that. And that's going to leave this middle of the field just a little bit that much more open for St. Brown. We saw yesterday, after that 36-yard completion, the middle of the field, it immediately opened up. Granted, he didn't get, he didn't get 5 catches the next couple of plays, but the middle of the field opened up just with that one big play from J-Mo. St. Brown, he's got to be thrilled that now defensive coordinators got to think about that guy too.
Exactly. I was wondering, I was going to ask you guys, do you think J-Mo put some stuff on tape that defensive coordinators have to think about? Because Sean McVay, as much as I do believe he had some really, really, really good points in that game last night, the Detroit Lions were able to counter because Jameson Williams was exactly who Dan Campbell said he was. He put him in a wide receiver 2 slot, and now we know there's nothing. We absolutely know now. There's nothing just given. These guys are going out there, and they are earning these spots.
He had his best game as a pro, and a dominant game. It wasn't just his best game as a pro. It was a dominant wide receiver game. I mean, he's on like a 2,000-yard pace. After just game 1, I understand, but that's why I had to preface this at the beginning and say JB's 1,500-yard prediction, he may be the ultimate prophet. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying it has to happen, but this was, as I said, not just a great game for Jameson Williams. It was one of the best games any receiver had all weekend. I didn't expect that, and he's slowly proving me wrong, and he may make me look like a huge fool. He's in the process of making me look like a huge fool, and that's okay. I can take it. I will take my crow. I will let you guys talk all of your shit, especially if he continues to have games like this.
Hey, David DeWitt from the chat says, Sam is so mad about it.
I'm not mad. I mean, here's the thing, though. I'm sitting here and humbly eating my crow. How silly would it look if I double downed and nitpicked? I get it. If you want to say that it's me flip-flopping, fine, go ahead. But I just call it like I see it, and Jameson Williams absolutely dominated that football game. Sparked the 2 biggest touchdown drives of the game. Honestly, it was the only 2 regulation touchdown drives of the game. If Jameson Williams isn't out there, who knows what happens? One of them was literally a 56-yard drive, and 52 of it was a Jameson Williams touchdown catch bomb. So shout out J-Mo.
And it was against Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford, and LA Rams. Not some has-been, not some underrun. It's against a playoff caliber team that, you know what? All across the national landscape, who the frick was picking? The Rams. Everybody. That was the wildest thing to me. But the Detroit Lions showed, you in a playoff caliber atmosphere, you in a playoff caliber matchup, we're still those guys. It's made me so much more encouraged for the rest of the season because you're right. They went out there, and I think that they showed one trait you have to. Do we want them to play perfect? Of course. Are they ever going to? No. But to know that this team can play their C game and still win, that's a trait you have to have. They're not going to play perfect. So if you know they still have some type of recipe to salvage the burnt dish, you know what? That's what you need in a year like this with Super Bowl expectations.